News Radio KMAN weather.
51 and sunny skies currently in Manhattan. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of around 32. Going into Thursday, a high near 59 with cloudy skies with calm winds to the southeast around 5 miles an hour. Mostly clear skies with a low of around 33 on Thursday night. And on Friday, partly sunny with a high near 62. On Friday night, a 50% chance of rain, mainly after midnight, otherwise cloudy with a low around 43. The game up next on News Radio KMAN.
KMAN Daily Weather is presented by Fox Business Systems. How much does downtime cost you and your business? Don't let another second go by. Call Fox Business Systems at 776-1452.
The following is an exclusive presentation of News Radio KMAN, your home for K-State athletics. It's game time. This is The Game on News Radio KMAN.
A new frat house has been started at Kansas State University. And the only way you can get in is if you're a K-State coach.
Very exclusive frat house. I don't think they're pledging very often.
No. And there's no time for initiations. Because you're going to be out there recruiting. It's a place you go sleep and that's it. I wonder if they got some baller Xbox parties. That's too, you're not old enough for that back in the day. Halo parties.
I've had my COD party or two.
Okay. But you're probably all at separate houses or separate rooms.
No, we've done a couple all at the same house, playing some
like linking
2v2,
up the Xbox?
like deathmatch, yes,
Okay.
or some search and destroy.
See, that was high school for me. It wasn't every weekend or anything, but like once in a great while, you go to somebody's house, you get the chips, you get the Mountain Dew, very cliche things for young gamers. And you link up the Xboxes and you have one squad on one TV, one squad on another team. There's trash talk in between the rooms.
Yep.
And it's a fun night. Mm-hmm. Typically the parents are out of it's good times. Those are fun times. I still like my gaming. It's just not the same as it once was. It all started with GoldenEye 007. That was the first, let's band together multiplayer shooters. And you could either put a squad together, or it's like 1v1, v1v1. You could do fatal four-way, and that's where it all started. That's why GoldenEye 007 is such a legendary video game, is because it was a trailblazer. Welcome to The Game. I am Mitch Fortner. That's Cole Dutchendorf, Gavin Hyatt across the glass. This is what I'm referring to when it comes to this K-State football frat house. Defensive coordinator Jordan Peterson earlier today talking about some of these coaches have an interesting living situation.
There's a house that we're all kind of staying at. There's like 5 of us. We jokingly call it the frat house because it's just coaches living there. And there's no reason to leave the office. Like, we're just working here. And then when it's time to go to sleep, we just go back to the house and go to bed. But not even remotely close to being moved in. We did the high school recruiting in January once the portal settled down. I kind of leave that up to my wife because I'm not making any living situation decisions without her because she's the real head of the household. And so between her and my 3 little girls, I know she'll tell me where we're going to live.
Yeah, a little behind the scenes there on families when they get a new job and these coaches. I mean, sometimes it's every year or 2 years they're off to a new city, a new school to coach, and these families are moving around, and it can be hard on the wife and the kids and with Colin Klein building up this new staff, this humongous staff, it's mostly, obviously the majority are new guys coming here, some coming from just Lawrence, but some coming from all over the country. It's a big move. So these guys with maybe limited places to go find a place to live, especially if you're just going to rent, most places are taken up by students. So, I wouldn't be surprised if this is around Aggieville or in that area of where students live. And
you just know it's the most poorly furnished living arrangement in the city of Manhattan. It's 4 beds,
our guys,
1 couch, a TV without a stand.
I bet there's more food and drinks in their offices than there are their actual fridge.
100%.
Oh, this is going to be a fun topic today. Coming up in second hour, we're going to have MitchPom against Cincinnati. A quick MitchPom because, of course, PowerCat Game Day is coming up at 6. A look at K-State baseball pitchers for 2026. I'm very excited about two pitchers in particular. And I'm not talking out of the transfer portal, although I am excited about those guys. But two guys that are back that we did not see last season, I think are going to be, they could potentially be the X factor of this pitching staff this 2026 season that starts in 2 days. We'll hear from Sean Gleason. We'll hear from Jordan Peterson later on in this hour. Gavin, would you like to do the honors?
I can do it. It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
He's catching on.
And you know what that means. AEW Dynamite tonight from Ontario, California. We're awaiting some big news about a potential pay-per-view that I think I might be going to. And that is Double or Nothing in New York City. They're going to have it at where the U.S. Open?
Yes,
Is that right?
That is correct.
It's in Flushing.
The Meadows.
Yeah, they're in Queens. It's right next to where the Mets play. Mm-hmm. And it's coming up in May. They haven't announced a date yet, but I'm hoping it's like Memorial Day weekend.
On that Monday?
For a while and get out of here. Yeah. And go to an AEW pay-per-view. New York City's the best, man. It's the best. We ready to go with our very special guest. Let me double-check the name here just to make sure I don't get them mixed up and get my paper out here to make sure I'm reading the right name. All right, folks, it is Wednesday. We are joined by K-State Online. And the gentleman today, well, he's the leader of the pack. He's a former host of PowerCat Game Day. You now know him from the 3 Mile Podcast. And, of course, K-State Online. We are joined today by the wonderful, the lovely Derek Young from K-State Online. DY, were you a frat guy?
I was. People wouldn't expect that from me, but I was definitely a frat guy, so I could kind of relate to the frat house comparison that Coach Peterson provided. I'd kind of heard that was something that was happening. Like I'll be transparent. It was kind of tipped off to me that there was those guys living together and they were calling it that. So the question I asked, I was trying to get him to spur that answer out into the public. So I was glad I was successful in doing so.
Yeah, it's a job well done. Do you know who else is in that house? I don't think he mentioned any names.
No, he didn't, and I'm actually unaware.
Okay.
But if I can, I'm making a plug for the 3 Mile Podcast. We're going to get Jordan Peterson on the show actually tomorrow. I assume it'll be out soon thereafter. So watch that, and maybe that'll be a question I ask. Like, what other coaches are in there? What is there anything stocked at all? Whether it be video games, food, drinks, or is it just a place to like lay on the ground?
I remember asking, we had a comedian on the show one time, and I'm blanking on his name, but he was roommates for a decade with Jerry Seinfeld. And I wanted to know all the details about that. Who was the messy one? Who was the clean one? Was anybody ever late on their rent? And he wouldn't open up about that. So if there's a consolation prize, I'd love to hear more about this frat house. Was your frat, was it we partied all the time, or I don't really know much about other frat houses. Like, I know Cole was also in part of one. It was a little bit more tame.
It was pretty chill.
Okay.
It was, I would say mine was probably more slanted towards the party variety. I'm not going to lie. So
if we were to put together a K-State media, like Coach Peterson said, they like 5 guys are in this house, right? If we were to pull together, like, who would be the best 5-guy K-State media frat house? And I'll already tell you right now, DY, I'm not a part of that group. I don't think I would do well in the frat house environment.
You wouldn't?
No.
I'm not sure. I don't think Mason would either.
No.
So
no,
he's probably numero uno of who would not fit in. Drew was actually a frat guy too. So maybe
really?
Drew's part of that.
That is surprising.
Caught me off guard too, but he was a frat guy. So, and I think John was as well, right? John Kurtz.
Yes, that definitely. I don't think it was a party frat house though.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
And yeah, so I don't know. What is your vision of the media frat house and what that looks like?
Well, I'm thinking a couple of guys from Go Power Cat.
Okay.
I think Fitz is
think
probably the president.
He was a frat guy too, I believe. So makes sense.
No, we've hung out with him before. He's a great time. I throw Ryan Gilbert in there.
Gills, yeah.
He seems like he's a frat guy. You know, a dark horse frat guy. Toby Hamas from the Manhattan Mercury.
Yeah.
He's still in school. He seems he could be that way.
We need someone that can cook, though. That's always a go-to when you have someone in the house that can cook.
Oh, Wyatt Wheeler. I think we got to throw him in there. The new beat writer for the Topeka Capital Journal in there in Salina.
Okay, if he can cook, he can come.
I thought frat houses have their own kitchen.
Typically, they have their own. I mean, at least the farmhouse, we had our own chef, but we also had an open kitchen where you could cook inside as well.
I wish we did. We had a full kitchen that was supposed to be outfitted with a chef, but we did not have one.
You know, DY, speaking of, I guess this may be kind of a recruiting conversation here. You know, it's now been a little while since, how do you say Greg's last name?
I think it's Schwarzkopf.
Schwarzkopf, thank you. I had it earlier and I forgot.
I think that's it. Don't hold me to it. Obviously, he was the KU director of recruiting, and now he's at Kansas State. Quite a steal. I mean, that's not something that's really been decorated or reported on at length, is what I would say. Like, it was just a quick release, and everyone barely touched on it. I think over time, we are going to see that move as probably much more substantial than what we currently are at this time.
I mean, he's been there at KU. He's pretty much there for almost all of the Lance Leipold era, I think. And but some people freaked out a little bit because he had the title of director of recruiting. Taylor Bratt has been doing that for years. But for those that don't know, he's now the director of player personnel and high school relations. So I wanted to get your thoughts on both the hire and then also Taylor Bratt's move to a new title.
Yeah, new title. I don't know that Taylor Bratt's actual duties and responsibilities are going to change substantially. It's probably a title that reflects more of what he was doing already. And it's a promotion of sorts that's probably long overdue considering the amount of work that he's put in for this football program.
Oh, my God.
Year over year, for over a decade now, and across now 3 different head coaches. There was a joke made on our board when the transition was happening from Chris Kleiman to Colin Klein. And some folks, and I understand the question, they were asking, does that mean Taylor Bratt staying, going? What's happening there? And one of the posts put it perfectly, and he says, I think he comes with the building. And he might as well. It's just the amount of institutional knowledge that he has, not just about Kansas State, though that's incredible. And he probably has as much as anyone not named Casey Scott or Jill Shields at this time in terms of people that work around the athletic department and Kenny Lanou, but also just the vast network that he has created within the state when it comes to high school football recruiting, and just knowing every single high school football coach like it's the back of his hand. It's impressive. So, and he gets basically the promotion of sorts that he's long deserved and gets the help that he's long deserved as well. I obviously Greg Schwarzkopf's going to have incredible responsibilities in leadership role as well. And he's probably going to work closer alongside Trey Scott, the general manager. It's now just a department that's catching up with the times, is what I would say.
Yeah, Taylor Bratt, I mean, for years, and I know he's still doing it. I changed the way I cover high school sports now because of Taylor Bratt, and that's because of his storytelling of there'll be times he just gets in the Jeep and puts miles in, going all over the place to meet with recruits, either committed or not committed, keep those relationships alive. And ever since I heard that story, I've been going to the high schools myself and just going to talk to coaches and getting interviews and keeping those relationships going. And it's best to just be in person and put the miles in and be face-to-face with these people. And Taylor Bratt's done a fantastic job. So I just didn't know if this was like, was he kind of demoted, or is this a promotion, or how this all works?
I would consider a promotion. I bet. I don't want to speak out of turn or get in his pockets a little bit, but I imagine it came with a little bit of a raise. And again, it's something that's long overdue. There was a long time where he was, I mean, I know the last few years he's shared his office. There was at one point, maybe he liked it a little bit, that he didn't have to share his office because he was the only one doing the job. Now he's not the only one that has to do the job. And again, it was a great post. It's like, I think Taylor Bratt comes with the building, meaning the Veneer Family Football Complex. And essentially he does. Like, you can't have Kansas State football any longer without Taylor Bratt. I forget who was one of the new coaches that came in and said, you know what, I think of Kansas State football, I think of Bill Snyder, and I think of Colin Klein. I think it was Jeremiah Johnson on your show, Mitch, when you were interviewing him. And they're right. That's probably the first two that should come to mind. In those top five of names anymore should be Taylor Bratt, with what he's given to this university athletic department football program now for, I think, almost 2 decades, if not 2 decades. And on the basketball side, I would say it's akin to what Bailey Bachamp has been to the basketball program. If there happens to be a coaching change at any point, like, she is maybe the person that needs to be retained. It's that amount of institutional knowledge that's important to keep in store and keep in tow.
If you look outside, just like a Buddy Wyatt retained, there was a bunch of people that were retained, honestly. And, it's you can't help but
Yep.
Absolutely. But not even counting the support staff, if you look at coaches from Colin to the analysts and GA, to my count, I mean, this is not even counting GA, 26 coaches.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of catching up with the times.
Yeah.
But and like you said, some guys retained. Buddy Wyatt, Brian LePack on what you would consider on-field coaches, though everyone can coach on the field. But you also have Matt Cardulas, Taylor Bratt, Hank Jacobs will eventually be announced. I think he's going to be staying and taking on a role of some kind as well. Seth Porter on the strength staff was retained. So some names here and there that were retained, and I know I'm forgetting a few. And I know probably the two things, and along with Taylor Bratt, that everyone knew that would be kept too is, I think his name's Scott Troush, nutrition, who teams trying to hire away every year, but he remains at Kansas State. I know Colin Klein probably stepped in and was probably not even a question. He was absolutely going to keep Scott Troush as his nutrition guy. He was absolutely going to keep Al Serby as his equipment guy. I mean, guys like that just the amount of institutional knowledge and they just know the way it's supposed to look. And Colin Klein played and coached here when those guys were both here.
Was I forget her last name, but you want to talk about support staff that always got shout-outs from Chris Kleiman, but Mint. Yeah, I mean, is she back as well?
Yeah, I think same role. So
all right.
She's, I think, one of the few female director of football operations that there is in all of college football.
A couple more thoughts here on the recruiting front here. This is I think you're the right guy to talk about this. We've been talking assistant coaches here. Was there one or two coaches that stood out to you the most about just winning on the recruiting trail when it comes to the transfer portal?
Yeah, guys that really leverage their ties and connections, whether it be prior stops or their, comfort in certain geographical locations. And it's kind of the ones I expected. And they hit St. Louis really, really hard, whether even out of the transfer portal, and they will going forward in high school recruiting as well. But a lot of these guys at one point were in St. Louis. So you harken back to Thad Ward making a return to the Kansas State staff. And he, along with Brian Anderson, recruited St. Louis in the 1 year he was here under Chris Kleiman. So Thad Ward's a big deal. Obviously, he locked up Josh Manning too. This time around, almost got him the first time out of high school, of course. And Corey Patterson, who's going to make a real difference in St. Louis as well. Used to be a high school coach in that city. Before getting on at Illinois, Oklahoma State, and I believe Purdue at various times. So those two jump out. Jordan Peterson, for sure. We spoke to him today. You played that clip of him today already. The defensive coordinator. He was a recruiting basically extraordinaire at Texas A&M too. And before that at KU. He will recruit his butt off, and he will be very effective in doing it. And I think today's interview probably showed us a peek behind the curtain of why he's so good at it. Just so personable, a lot of charisma, a little bit of a fireball of energy compared to Sean Gleason, who we also spoke to today, the Kansas State offensive coordinator, which I would probably liken him more to Colin Klein, right? He came off as super intelligent, intellectual, reserved, and measured, a little bit more soft-spoken. So completely different personalities, but guys, they're going to fit here and really do a good job.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson called Colin Klein a dog earlier, and to me, that's a high compliment. It's like in baseball terms, like when you call a baseball player a dirtbag, like that's a very high praise for somebody for their competitiveness.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest ones you can give. So yeah, that stood out to me. Like that guy knows how to talk sports language, right? Yeah. Jordan Peterson. Like if I'm a recruit, that's who I want to play for. We'll take a break. We'll have a couple more minutes with DY. When we come back, maybe a little basketball. We'll take a break. DY from KSO Online coming up next. Coming back after a break next.
This is The Game on News Radio KMAN.
This Valentine's Day, treat your sweetheart to an unforgettable evening at the Friendship House in Wamego. Indulge in our exquisite 5-course tasting menu, crafted with care for this special occasion. But don't wait, this exclusive dining experience is by reservation only. Reserve your spot and make this Valentine's Day truly memorable. The Friendship House in Wamego, where love is always on the menu. Call 785-456-9616. Friendship House, just off the Yellow Brick Road by City Park in downtown Wamego.
If you're tired of government-run healthcare that becomes more expensive each year, you need to check out the Gig Care Health Benefits Program offered by Population Science Management. As a consumer data respondent, you will have access to the Gig Care plan. Hi, I'm Kerry Hall, America's healthcare advocate. If you're self-employed or a 1099 economy employee or just looking for an alternative to Obamacare, 866-886-2030 or gigcare.net. Gig Care was designed with you in mind.
Gig Care is not available in all states.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2026 Winter Games sponsored by Grainger. Grainger for the ones who get it done. The figure skating ice dance competition was always going to come down to the U.S. husband and wife team of Evan Bates and Madison Chalk and the French duo of Guillaume Cizeron and Laurence Fournier-Boudry. It just went final. The score was 225 to 224. French win the gold, U.S. the silver. 4 years ago in Beijing, the best hockey player was Juraj Slavkovsky, scored 7 goals in 7 games for Slovakia, and Montreal later that year took him with the first pick of the draft. NHL players now back in the Olympics, and Slavkovsky scored the first goal, later scored again. Slovakia, who won the bronze in 2022, beat Finland 4-1. Italy has no NHL players. Sweden has all NHL players. Sweden leads Italy 3-2 third period. Italy's having a lot of success in these games. Today, a gold medal sweep in men's and women's lose. John Stanshauer, Westwood One Sports.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about, what am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
I'm Gavin Hyatt with the Game Sports Update, brought to you by Bottle Cap Sports Bar. K-State women's basketball held the top scoring team in the Big 12 to a tie of its lowest point total of the season Tuesday night, as the Wildcats led for over 39 minutes and held off a fourth quarter rally to secure a 70-61 win over Oklahoma State. K-State was led by Clausens with 18 points and 6 rebounds. Heel added 16 points. Gina Garcia tallied 9 points, a career high, tying 9 assists and 3 steals. Anaya Foy came off the bench to pull in a career-high 8 rebounds, while Brandy Harrod added 9 points and 6 rebounds. K-State has now won 3 of its last 4. They'll visit Iowa State on Sunday with pregame at 12:30 and tip at 1 on Sunny 102.5. 2 K-State football players receive invitations to the NFL Combine, Sam Hecht and VJ Payne. The Combine will take place from February 23rd through March 2nd in Indianapolis. K-State men's basketball returns home on Wednesday night to host Cincinnati at Bramlage Coliseum. K-State is off to its worst start ever in Big 12 play, tying 1996 to 1997 and 2020 to 2021 Cats that began 1-9 in the Big 12. Tip time is 8 p.m. PowerCat Game Day begins at 6 p.m. on 101.5 K-Rock and News Radio KMAN.
Oh, little Freebird coming back. Gavin, why you must bring up such dark history that we are living in right now? This terrible start in Big 12 play for the Cats, 1-9. Well, they got a desperate team coming in. That's Cincinnati. Although they've won 4 games, Wes Miller on the hot seat. My doppelganger, which just heads up for everybody. We're probably been on TV together a couple of times. I got my beard going, so you can tell the difference when you see us both on TV later on tonight. We're back with Derek Young from K-State Online. DY, may sound a bit of a harsh question to ask, but is this the worst team you've ever covered?
Probably. I mean, maybe it's 1B to another 1A, or maybe it's number 2 to another number 1. I forget the team exactly the year, but those last few Bruce Weber years were pretty painful, and I think we need to be careful of some revisionist history there. That some of those teams, they didn't belong either. Pretty brutal. I'd have to check the records, man. I believe it was a COVID year, so maybe that's an excuse. But I mean, one of Bruce's final teams lost to Fort Hays State in an actual regular season game, not an exhibition game. And it was by double digits, and that team did not have their head coach.
Well, I didn't know that part of it. It's crazy you remember that, but yes, the last 2 Bruce Weber years.
It was like COVID protocol, so their head coach missed a game.
I could see that happening. I just remember this dude that looked like he just came straight off the combine and had like 7 layups, playing the 5, and he's 6'7", and just roasted us. That's what I remember from that game. Plus, being double masked to public address announce that game. It sucked all around. It really did.
Yeah, I mean, and I think they lost the game by double digits. I don't really think
probably.
It was that close.
No, it was. The Fort Hays State kids were celebrating with 2 minutes to go, trying to, they were mocking the student section that had 7 kids in it.
Now, this year is the first sort of embarrassing losses of that nature since that season, I would say.
It is. That is. I think there's no doubt that Fort Hays State loss was horrible. If you look at Bowling Green this year, Bowling Green looks like they're not very good. They're not having a great season. Other than that, everybody that K-State's lost to for the most part in the non-con, they're having a decent year. I may have to go double check on Creighton, but
Seton Hall and Creighton are both kind of dipping a little bit. I don't think either will make the NCAA tournament, if you want to go by that barometer.
Tulsa will probably. Tulsa's having a good year.
Not. Bowling Green will not. Creighton probably won't either, but Kansas State won that game anyways, right? So it wasn't a team that they lost to. They lost to Bowling Green by 16 at home, which is pretty embarrassing. And maybe it's just when it happened or how it happened, but those KU and Iowa State home losses to me are even a bigger deal.
Now, I'm going to probably sound crazy here, but the rest of the home games that K-State had, you got Cincinnati, Baylor, West Virginia. I'm forgetting the other, but TCU.
They between you and I, and everyone listening, they probably won't win them, but every home game left is winnable. Like you said, they are those four you just spoke of: Cincinnati, Baylor, TCU, and West Virginia. Now, 3 of your last 4 road games are against Houston, Texas Tech, and KU, so forget about it, right? But can you steal one in Boulder? I mean, maybe. They're not very good. So a bad team could go 5-3 in the stretch, but I don't think K-State will go 5-3. They're more likely to go 1-9.
Yeah, playing for a 14 seed right now. Did you take
1-7? Sorry about the math.
No, you're all right.
14 seed? You think they're playing for 14? I think they're probably playing for the 15, or is it 14?
Well, 14 is within reach, but right now they're tied with, isn't it Baylor? Or no, it's Utah. Utah, of course.
And they got the tiebreaker.
Yes.
Right? Got the tiebreaker and don't have to play them again. So, I don't know. Like, this feels really slimy that we're talking about it in this way, right? But, like, you probably won't be the 16 seed as long as Utah doesn't get hot.
DY, I do a show every day. I'm trying to stretch this thing out as best I can to keep this fresh. It's tough.
Yeah, I'm with you. But like maybe they aren't the 16 seed. So you're right. It's a good way to look at it. But I know Baylor lost last night, I think, to BYU. But Baylor's got 2 more wins than K-State. So, and then everyone else has 3 or more. So if K-State does not beat Baylor at home, K-State's the 15 seed at least, or maybe 16. Like, if you're playing for the 14 seed, you got to beat Baylor at home.
But are you picking K-State to win tonight?
I have not picked it, but now that you're putting me on a spot, I would pick Kansas State to win tonight. Because I don't think Cincinnati is very good, and I think they're kind of doom scrolling a little bit here. As well, and I don't believe Cincinnati has won a road game in the Big 12. I believe they're 0-6. So that's part of it. I think I actually think Cincinnati hasn't won a road game all year.
That's correct. 0-9.
Yeah. If they were to beat K-State tonight, it would be their first road win of the season. I will say Kansas State wins this, but nothing would surprise me. Like if it's like any other game. Even if they do have a lead, they'll lose it late, right?
That's what they do. Shorter leads against West Virginia and Oklahoma State. Really, Oklahoma State was a battle throughout, but you cough up 18 against a not great TCU team. Yeah, it's no. I've said it all year. No lead is safe.
I know. I mean, even the leads that they had against Cal and Creighton got evaporated, despite those being wins. I think they had a pretty good lead against Tulsa at one point, and that thing got whittled down. Even Arizona State, they lost that game in Tempe. They were up at halftime.
All right, DY, I'll let you go. Let's see if K-State can defend its home floor for the first time in a hot minute. We'll see you in Bramlage in a little bit.
See ya.
It's Derek Young, K-State Online. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll finish the first hour hearing more from K-State OC Sean Gleason and defensive coordinator Jordan Peterson. I both thought it did a pretty solid job for their first press conferences as coaches for K-State. That's coming up next year on The Game.
Your home for K-State sports.
Waters to throw. There's the fade, and it is caught one-hand by Curry Sexton. Oh, my, what a play that was.
This is The Game on News Radio, KMAN.
Start your engines! The 10th annual Scouting America Coronado Area Council Corporate Pinewood Derby is racing into Manhattan Ford on Friday, February 13th from 7 to 10 p.m. To race, you'll need a sponsorship. Become a $1,000 track sponsor and receive 6 Derby car kits. A $500 pit crew sponsor includes 4 kits, or a team sponsor gets 2 kits. Just want to watch? Admission is $40 per person or $60 per couple. Enjoy food from Vista Drive-In, adult beverages, and live and silent auctions. Follow them on Facebook at Corporate Pinewood Derby or email Crystal Baldwin one at scouting.org. See you at the races.
It's time to check the benefits and rewards of your current checking account. That means it's Central time. Central National Bank has checking and savings accounts, as well as convenient benefits like roadside assistance, cell phone protection, and other cool rewards. Check with Central for details. Account opening subject to qualification. Restrictions may apply.
Central National Bank, money for life.
Member FDIC, money for life since 1884.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Last night, the Spurs ran into an injury-riddled Los Angeles Laker team. LeBron wasn't there. Luka wasn't there. Austin Reeves not there as well. The final margin was 28. A shorthanded team losing big to a contender. Big deal, but the score was not the story. Victor was. 40 points, 12 rebounds, 2 steals in 26 minutes. Doing it against a depleted Laker roster is not what makes it special. It's the efficiency and the timestamp that demand attention. In the shot clock era, it's just the 5th time a player has scored at least 40 points in 26 minutes or less. That is rare air reserved for the most explosive scorers in the league. Every time Wembanyama steps onto the floor, we see something new, a reminder that his ceiling may not exist. The frightening part for the rest of the NBA is not what he did last night, it's what he's going to do. After all, he's just 22. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Your phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait. Attention on the road, that's the only way. Phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
For area high school scores, recaps, league standings, and coach interviews, check out Scoreboard Saturday at 8 a.m. during football and basketball season, including coverage of the Centennial League, NCKL, Big East League, Flint Hills League, and the Twin Valley League. Scoreboard Saturday on News Radio KMAN is powered by WTC Communications.
News Radio KMAN weather.
Sunny skies and 51 degrees in Manhattan currently. On tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low of around 32. On Thursday, a high near 54 with cloudy skies with those winds to the southeast around 5 miles an hour. On Thursday night, mostly clear skies and a low of around 33. On Friday, seems to be warming up a little bit with partly sunny skies and a high near 62. On Friday night, cloudy with a low of around 43.
Need to correct myself from earlier. I mentioned with DY the growth of coaches on this K-State football team from Kleiman 25 to Klein in 26. Coaches on the field, Kleiman had 16, and Colin Klein will have 24 on this inaugural coaching staff, which is obviously both coaches mentioned, it's obviously a bigger number, of course, but both coaches mentioned that who we heard from earlier today, offensive coordinator Sean Gleason and defensive coordinator Jordan Peterson. This will be a very NFL approach to this coaching staff, the way they are going to operate. A bigger staff. You can obviously have pretty much as many coaches as you want now. And And that means, spreading the duties out. Everybody's going to be able to do their job at a high level. And plus with the coordinators, they're no longer, they're not assigned to a position. The coordinators are not also position coaches. So that's going to take a tag off of just working with, for example, Matt Wells working with the quarterbacks, Joe Klannerman with the safeties. It's like having a coordinator that can game plan, for example, with Jordan Peterson, if he's going to call the defensive plays, which they're going to go multiple, which sounds really cool. I like that idea of really mixing it up on defense. But as working with the positions, they can kind of roam around and work with everybody, visit different meetings. So I like them not working a particular room when it comes to personnel. They're working with everybody on a daily basis. So, but let's hear some audio from these two from earlier today. Sean Gleason, coming to K-State as now the offensive coordinator, was working with quarterbacks at Mizzou and working with Avery right out of the gate. Here's Coach Gleason.
He's unique because he's one of the fastest I've ever coached. Just watching him run around with the weight room staff and watching some of the tape from prior years. Talked to some people recently. When you're in a bunker like we all are during the year, sometimes you catch a game in the hotel or such. But he's always had my eye just because some of the big plays that he can create with his feet. But I think he's a great Swiss Army knife in the fact that he is a great thrower in this league too. So, but I would say I'm excited to work with a guy that's had that much experience because, as you know, coaching quarterbacks, it's tough to break one in.
Yeah, it certainly is. And now there was a little bit of pushback from K-State fans with Sean Gleason about his time at Rutgers. The last time he was an offensive coordinator before K-State was at Rutgers. He ended up getting fired from that job. Outside of that, but he was an offensive coordinator at Oklahoma State. He mentored the young up-and-coming Spencer Sanders. And also he's been able to, when he has taken new jobs, he's actually inherited some very quality quarterbacks and has continued their growth. Brady Cook, for example, at Missouri, is the recent one until coming here to K-State. It has to be a dream, and you're coming into a new job, and you have what's now going to be a 3-year starter in Avery Johnson to work with right out of the gate.
At the same program, which you don't see very often. Now, 4 years, 4 different OCs definitely factors into that a little bit, but there's a ton of continuity at the most important position on the field. That's got to help him as he transitions to being the OC for K-State.
But with the actual play calling, it's not going to be Gleason that's calling the plays. It's going to be Colin Klein, but here is Gleason on his game day role.
Yeah, he's going to be on the field. He's going to call the plays. I don't yet know if I'll be downstairs or upstairs. We hadn't talked about that, but I do think that him moving from I've done it before, but moving from the booth down to the field, I think he's going to be fine. But having someone he has that he trusts in the booth to be able to kind of maybe communicate some of the things from a defensive identification standpoint, I think I would see some value in me being up there. But I'm really kind of going to be plug and play wherever it helps our offense.
Not surprising to me for Colin Klein to continue to call the plays. I haven't heard necessarily the exact reasons why, but I'm certainly not questioning it. Obviously, with 2 years at A&M and a couple of years here at K-State of calling plays, was pretty successful.
That was part of the allure of having him back outside of the obvious. Is this is one of the best young offensive minds in college football. Heck yeah, I want him on the plays.
Well, and if anybody questions, it's Avery working with a fourth offensive coordinator or fourth guy calling plays, look, this was the best possible scenario for bringing in somebody, if it's a head coach or an offensive coordinator, to have chemistry with Avery, the guy that recruited him, the guy that they broke bread at Colin's house multiple times, and they grew a pretty incredible bond. Like, Colin Klein is one of the best at building relationships, and not just building relationships. It could be with players, it could be with building that coaching tree and having the connections, or even just talking with donors. I mean, when things were kicking off with NIL, Colin Klein was major in bringing in some early money and having some dollars to work with. And so when you have a third-year quarterback and it's now the guy that is calling the plays is the one that recruited you and was the first to build that relationship, I mean, it doesn't get much better if you ask me.
And the 1 year of overlap with still Colin in Manhattan. And obviously, Avery wasn't the starting quarterback, but still got some legitimate experience under center.
Got a little action.
He played. It wasn't like he wasn't on the field at all.
And I don't think people forget about that. It's just, when Avery it was just kind of a weird time. That 2023 season was really weird. Where
that was the bench Will Howard talk and that weird
especially
saga
after winning a Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
It's people wanted to see Avery play. And it started with a couple of carries here and there. He showed up in the Missouri game. I think he played in the Missouri game a little bit. And then, it turned into what was the Houston game. They were switching possessions. And that, pissed Will Howard off. It's that was probably the moment he's like, yeah, I'm probably out of here.
Yeah.
This is Avery's.
You can see the writing on the wall.
This is Avery's team moving forward. Let's get to Jordan Peterson, who I thought had a great press conference with the K-State media. I wasn't there earlier today, but I was hearing this for the first time about an hour ago. And here was Coach Peterson, who comes to K-State. He follows Colin Klein from Texas A&M. Prior to being the co-defensive coordinator and working defensive backs at Texas A&M, was a pretty successful coach and recruiter at Kansas. He opened doors for Lance Leipold that nobody had access to when it comes to pipelines. The state of Arizona, for example, Jordan Peterson is the one that opened that door for KU. Was a great mentor and recruiter. Like Mello Dotson, Kobe Bryant. Those are a couple of names I think anybody would recognize still to this day as solid players for KU. But the base defense, here's what Jordan Peterson had to say.
I have worked with and around people in every schematic defensive setup, right? Whether it was 3-4, 4-2-5, 4-3, 3-3-5. I've kind of been around the whole block. We're going to be very multiple in what we do. We don't want a team to be able to 100% know what we're going to be in all the time, right? As you package a defense together, you want it to be multiple to the offense, but simplistic enough to where the guys understand what they're doing, right? So it's same as teaching from us, but making sure that they got to prepare for multiple things, not only from a front structure standpoint, but a coverage system.
And I love the idea of mixing it up. K-State certainly has done that over the past couple of years. The only request I have is, can we stay away from the 3-4?
That's basically been out of football almost entirely.
Well, I say that because it reminds me of Ron Prince. Let's stay away from the 3-4. Those last 2 years, the defense was awful. That's the last time. Bill Snyder was always 4-3. Far back as I can remember, it was always 4-3. That was just the base D, no doubt. I'm curious to see who's in particular, personnel formations, things like that. I get excited about that kind of stuff because I love defense. I love talking about defense. Now, a couple of things here. We're running a little short on time, but Coach Peterson brought up a couple of flashbacks that had to do with K-State and playing K-State in the past. He was a GA at Texas A&M when Colin Klein won the 4 overtime game back in 2011.
Colin and I would talk about it at A&M. He remembered the bad plays that he had, and I only remembered the bad plays that we had on our side. And so, I think about we're in quarters, and they throw a quarters beater for a touchdown. We're up by 2 scores, and it's that's what I remember. And he's like, well, that's funny because earlier in that drive, I threw a 7-cut into cover 3, and luckily I sailed the ball. And so, it's funny because we would go back and forth, and we would remember the negative things about. It's just kind of how we're wired, I guess.
Yeah, that's coaches for you. They remember the bad parts about the game, not,
And from a game 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was, Jesus, it's been 15. Yeah, you're right, absolutely. I wonder, though, if I were to bring up a recent game, what he remembers about, I would love to ask him about, and I'm sure DY mentioned it, the 3 Mall guys will talk to him about this, the 2023 KU game. Jordan Peterson's a part of that staff. It's Will Howard's last year. That was the most nerve-wracking game of my life. That wasn't a championship game because KU had K-State dead to rights.
Up 11 with the walk-in pick 6.
And then one of his boys drops the pick 6. And then the next play is a Trayshawn Ward 50-yard run. And that flipped the game for K-State.
Game on, yeah.
It was K-State, I think, kept KU off the board for the rest of the game.
I do believe that is correct.
I would love to hear him talk about that because I still have PTSD from it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still messed up. When I went to Lawrence back in November to watch that, was it late October, early November, whenever it was, doesn't matter. That rainy day, even though K-State wasn't having its best season. KU wasn't either. Boy, Kleiman was like, oh, people thought this was the year. Hell yeah, we thought it was the year. We thought that in the preseason. It just felt like it just could be that year. And I was so nervous, and it took about a quarter. Actually, really in the third quarter, I was like, all right, I can chill out. This is going our way. I mean, everything, the ball is bouncing K-State's way. It's just K-State's day. And they end up smoking KU. But we wouldn't be at a 17-game winning streak without, first of all, a Chris Tennant 51-yarder, and in the previous year, a drop pick 6.
And even as close as obviously the game in Manhattan was against KU last year, which it was very close, and honestly, they had a shot to lose that one, a very legitimate chance, and probably, winning percentage-wise, it might have been lower for K-State at points in that game. But if you go back to the game in Lawrence the year before, I think KU should have won that more. Like, that one's the one that they had. They had their hands on it. They had the Rockets crowd. They had the 3-possession lead in their hands, and that one dropped pick 6, and the entire game flipped on its head.
But to put a bow on Jordan Peterson for a moment, which, again, I thought he had a great press conference. He was very entertaining. He's the one that called Colin Klein a dog earlier, which is a great compliment. I think it can be thrown around a little loosely sometimes. Like, it's bro these days. Bro is so, like, when it comes to people using it, people just use it in every sentence. Bro. All the time. That used to mean something. When somebody called you a bro, that used to mean something. Dog, if you call somebody a dog, that needs to mean something, including the K-State women's basketball team. There's a reason I call them dogs.
DAWG.
They're figuring it out. That win over Oklahoma State last night was a tremendous win. They are dogs. They are competitors. They have what it takes to win. That's what a dog is. It's got to mean something. People just throw it around these days. All right, we got to wrap up the first hour as Gavin counts me down. MitchPom coming up next, plus K-State pitcher preview coming up in hour number 2. Whether it's game day or a night out with great live music, Bottle Cap Sports Bar delivers the atmosphere you're looking for. It's Manhattan's go-to spot for catching every Wildcats or Chiefs game and enjoying live music that plays the songs you actually know. Come early for a good seat, great music, and cold drinks served up right. Stay in the loop. Check out their Facebook page for the full schedule of events. Bottle Caps, where the music's live, the game's always on, and the vibe is just right.
Bottle Cap Sports Bar located on West Anderson across from Dairy Queen.
At ESB Financial, we think it makes sense to pay you. That's right, get paid 5.04% annual percentage yield on balances up to $20,000 with our free Kasasa Cash checking account. We'll even refund your ATM fees nationwide, and the best part is there's no monthly service charges or minimum balances to keep. All you have to do to earn your rewards are a few simple things each month. The best part? These things make banking easier. Visit esbfinancial.com to learn more. Special terms may apply. ESB Financial, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Midstate Mechanical, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, can get your furnace winter ready with their complete HVAC system check and service. Midstate Mechanical will give you the peace of mind that your furnace is operating safely, efficiently, and properly to give you the warmth your family deserves. Not sure your system will make it through the winter? Midstate Mechanical can help. They use the most reliable brand, American Standard. Midstate Mechanical, your American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, providing quality service for over 30 years.
This is Vern Hendricks, and I'd like to invite you to join Dave Lewis and me every Monday morning at our new time, 9 a.m. here on News Radio KMAN. For the GMCF Community Hour, we enjoy celebrating the time, talents, and treasures of our community leaders and nonprofits each week. We will share GMCF updates, learn from community nonprofits, and provide you with upcoming community charitable events. For more information, call us at 587-8995 or visit our website at mcfks.org.
GMCF, helping you make a difference.
From lending options to treasury management services, KS State Bank provides innovative solutions to help your business succeed. KS State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, KMAN, Manhattan. News Radio KMAN weather.
Currently in Manhattan, sunny skies and 51 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of around 32. On Thursday, a high near 59 and cloudy skies with those winds to the southeast around 5 miles an hour. On Thursday night, mostly clear skies with a low of around 33, bumping all the way to 62 degrees and partly sunny on Friday, and that Friday night, a 50% chance of rain after midnight.
I don't know who's. There it is. Just disappeared.
Gotcha.
Freaked me out for a second. I don't know who sings this to this beat, but they definitely say bro a lot. I can guarantee you that.
I think that's true.
Who is it?
Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah, he's a bro guy. What'd you guys think of Soulja Boy coming to Bramlage Coliseum?
Oh, man. Electric. Can't wait to Superman and Bram.
I think it's better than Young Gravy that came. I think it will be.
Was that a good turnout for Young Gravy?
I think a lot of people showed up.
I didn't go, but I think
I didn't go either.
People.
Okay. I figured you guys would have been there.
No, I wasn't. I was designing the paper at the K-State Collegian that night.
Well, we lost. I don't know if you guys heard, but we open up hour to the game after work. Mitch Fortner, Cole Etchendorf, Gavin Hyatt. We lost a 90s legend today, passing away at the age of 48 after about a 3-year battle with cancer. James Vanderbeek, a.k.a. Dawson Leary from Dawson's Creek. But also, he was in one of the greatest football movies of all time. So rest in peace, Jonathan Moxon, Mox from Varsity Blues. He passed away earlier today. We'll pour one out here for James Vanderbeek as, this isn't the Cat Attack, but this may be second best. This is second place to the Cat Attack. Kind of gives me goosebumps now.
So open up your morning light and say a little prayer for right. You know that if we are to stay alive and see the love in every eye.
Man, if you remember that show, that may have just pulled a tear or two out of your eye sockets.
Is that from Dawson's Creek?
That's the theme song to Dawson's Creek. It's one of the best theme songs of all time. Now, as sports guys, have you seen the movie Varsity Blues?
I've not.
I haven't.
It's so underrated. I can't believe that Rotten Tomatoes gives it such a poor score.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes.
46%.
That actually feels like it's decent for Rotten Tomatoes. They're super harsh and they're usually dumb.
Even the Google users has it at 62%. It's a way better movie than that. And I don't think it's just me as a 90s kid. This movie came out it was like 98, 99, something like that. But it's West Canaan High School. John Voight, I think is his name, is the head coach. He's like this real bastard of a coach, honestly. And he just only cares about winning, doesn't care about the wear and tear of these guys. He just wants to win. Doesn't care. Big guy got a concussion, you're getting out there. Don't worry, son, I'm behind you. But meanwhile, the star quarterback gets banged up, so here comes Jonathan Moxon to save the day. It's a great movie, guys. Please put that on your list to watch.
We should do a dual review, like next Wednesday, and Gavin and I can recap in our first time watching Varsity Blues.
Please do. I would love that. I'd like to get your response, especially since it's not regarded as like one of the best sports movies of all time or anything. Like, if you were to do a Mount Rushmore of football movies, for most people, does Varsity Blues land on that list? Because it's not Blindside, it's not Remember the Titans, it's not, Friday Night Lights, Rudy, things like that. Like, those are Academy acclaimed movies. Varsity Blues was made by MTV. It was a low budget film. You know, I don't know how it did in the box office, but to me, it's one of my favorite. I probably watch Varsity Blues 4 times a year.
Really? It's that often?
Well, that's just how much I love it. It's a great movie.
The repertoire that often?
Now, I will give you guys a heads up. This is an R-rated movie.
I'll have to check with my parents and make sure I can
get
can
them
watch
to sign get them to sign the sheet.
The waiver.
Yeah. And
the permission slip.
Definitely check it out, man. It has one of my favorite. I just love to mimic it. It's so funny to me. It's one of the dads where they're getting into I can't say the word, but a contest about whose son is the better quarterback, right? Lance, toss me one, son. Oh, I one of my favorite movie quotes of all time, especially when you throw the accent on there. Lance, toss me one, son. When that scene comes up,
well, no,
you just heard me. You're gonna love it.
Okay.
All right, let's keep this going. We got I guess we got a prediction to make. We got a basketball game tonight. Power Cat Game Day actually at the top of the hour. So I'm gonna be with you for 3 hours until network coverage coming up at 7. I don't know if you've heard, but K-State still has only won 1 game in 2026, and we are now at February 11th. And the Cats have had 9 other tries to try to get that next dub. Cincinnati is in town. Again, the tip-off, 8:05 officially for tip-off. This game is televised on CBS Sports Network. How about a little teaser?
Here's MitchPom with tonight's prediction.
If I were to just throw this out there right now as a trivia question, who could tell me the real answer? What is K-State's overall record?
10-13.
I think that's right. 10
All right,
13.
it is 10-13. But I'd be very curious to know if we did like a online poll.
How many people knew it?
How many
right
would actually know
dome?
what the overall record is? Because I think you can just tell by how people are checked out. And I'm very curious as always right now see what the turnout is like because,
especially for this game.
Yeah, like Cincinnati's not a draw, right?
Yeah,
even if
really
it's
for the rest of the season
8
at home
p.m. too.
8 o'clock game
in a weekday.
It's a Wednesday. Some people like, well, it's also poker night. I'm probably going to go play poker on this one, save my cash. K-State 10-13. They're 1-9 in the Big 12, tied for the worst start in Big 12 history for the Cats. Really, in life, in history, it's the worst start in conference play ever. Cincinnati, anybody know? Are they good?
I think they're pretty not good.
12-12. That's a good way to put it. Not good. 4-7 though. They got 3 more wins in Big 12 play. They haven't had their bye yet. Their midweek bye. That's still to come. Cincinnati leads the all-time series 8-3. But K-State in the Big 12 era 2-1. That's all in the regular season. I'm going to skip the Cats portion here. I just left it blank. I think we know what's going on. I don't need to give you the breakdown. Shout out to PJ Haggerty, though, playing last Saturday with the flu. I don't know if you heard, but the whole store had the flu. That's another movie reference, folks. But PJ played with the flu, and he had 30
and played
points.
Really good.
I was like, hell, he played 39 minutes. Like I can appreciate that very much.
Yeah, 39 minutes of the flu is crazy.
But we just don't have that clutch gene apparently, and it's now been 3 straight road games where K-State has had a chance to win down the stretch, and they didn't figure out how to win. Cincinnati is a defensive-minded team. I think it's fair to say they're getting up just 67.3 points per game. That is 10th in the nation. So that's defensive efficiency 10th in the nation. That's according to KenPom. Cincinnati also ranking number 13 in the country. I'm just pulling this off Cincinnati's notes here. I mean, they're maybe grasping here at solid numbers to say, hey, we're not that bad. 13th in the country in non-steal turnover percentage.
Put some lipstick on a pig? Is that what they're doing?
9.5%. Congratulations, Cincinnati. Here's your trophy.
That's an impressive mark.
Give it up for them. Bearcats in town. 17th in opponent offensive rebounding percentage, 29.9%.
They box out.
Yeah, I guess. And 10th in opponent 2-point distance.
Is that a real stat they have on their sheet? Like the average where they're shooting it?
This is a real stat.
I've never heard that in my life.
I didn't know you could keep that stat. Who's keeping this stat? That's like Major League Baseball
So
stuff.
10th, like farthest out?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it farthest out? Is that what it is?
Yeah, like so.
So they prevent like layups?
Yeah, the average 2-point shot is 7.1 feet from the hoop. I have never seen that stat in my life.
That's the first for me.
I think they're pulling that out of their butt.
I think they made it up just so they could cite it.
I think it's nonsense. I just think it's something to throw in there. Who's
I've
going to prove
never in
this?
my life. Yeah, that's a great question. Like,
that's the most advanced analytic I've ever heard.
Is UAB like sitting down and tracking every single shot down to the decimal of the foot from where their opponents are shooting?
It makes no sense. Like, nobody keeps the stat. Of all the advanced analytics I've ever seen, I don't know if I've ever seen that stat.
That's actually funny.
Like his 785-537-1350. Have you ever heard of that stat before in basketball? Keeping track of the distance, the average distance the opponent is shooting 2-point range.
Do they have it for 3-pointers too?
No, I didn't. Apparently, they're not as good there. You know. All right. So elsewhere for the Bearcats, maybe some more normal numbers here because I can tell you what they stink at. We'll point this out as well. MitchPom is thinking lower scoring game because Cincinnati. You can't look up this. Their average possession is 17.8 points, so they're good at dragging out possessions. That's 273rd in the nation when it comes to possession time. So they'll drag out a basketball game for sure. They want to do that with their defense because they're not as solid on offense. But the Bearcats also rank 3rd in the Big 12 at 3-point attempts per game. They're going to shoot a lot, 26.5. They're 4th in the conference in scoring defense, field goal percentage defense, and assists per game at 16.4. But what they stink at is just shooting the basketball. They are second to last in the Big 12 at 71 points per game. They are worse in the Big 12 at shooting, 42%. And that's field goal percentage. And then they are the worst 3-point shooting team percentage-wise at 31%. Simple enough. They stink at shooting the basketball, which is a pretty big thing to be good at in this sport.
Is it?
It's what I heard.
That's that new age basketball stuff that's going around.
I mean, Larry Bird.
Shooting is good.
Where was Larry Bird without his shot? He's on the farm.
It's true. In Indiana.
Players to watch out for. To me, I'm just going to break it down to a couple. Jizzle James, he got actually basically kicked off the team. He came back. He didn't play the first 10 games. He's like at 10 points per game. Dede Thomas is like 10 points per game. They've been a real letdown at the guard position. The forward and center position, K-State in 8 of 10 Big 12 games has allowed a double-double from a big. That's terrible. Well, you have a player in Baba Miller who's averaging a double-double. 13.5 points, 10.5 rebounds. This guy could be a problem. Now, Kamari McGriff is back, but Kamari likes to foul a little bit. Again, I didn't really watch the TCU game. You tell me if, Kamari gave K-State some solid minutes. But also is Mustafa Tame, 11.6 rebounds per game. He's 60% from 2. He is the worst free throw shooter on the team, I see here, at 66.5% as I look down the numbers here. Yeah, so
they're a pretty good free throw shooting team?
Cincinnati's not actually a very good free throw shooting team. They're like maybe middle of the pack.
So they're just all like between 66 and like 76% or something like that?
I can't wait to see how these guys shoot the basketball. Do they have form? Can Wes Miller not coach form?
They're just throwing up a bunch of garbage.
My keys to the game, you're going to hear this, of course, on PowerCat Game Day, but I'll give you a little sneak preview here. I'll give you one here. I'm going to go turnovers. These two teams are actually almost mirroring one another when it comes to the turnovers they cough up and the turnovers they force. I'm going to give you a magic number because in their last 10 games, this number has determined if they're going to win or they're going to lose. 12. If K-State can force 12 turnovers tonight, they're going to win. Because personally, I'm not giving you comparison to what K-State does. I think we know the numbers. I'm not going to give you numbers, but
yeah, we don't want to be sad.
Really, it's a 50-50 game. It is 50-50 because K-State's playing at home. They're not the one traveling, but K-State's getting smoked at home.
Yeah.
Now I think they've played tougher teams at home for the most part so far. The road schedule is about to ramp up. No doubt with Houston coming up. You got KU coming up for the last game of the regular season.
And Tech.
Tech is coming up, but K-State they're losing home games by 17 points a game in Big 12 play. That's obviously god-awful. That even stretches into the non-conference with you considering Seton Hall, with Bowling Green. But, K-State they showed some good effort. Just didn't close at TCU. I think Cincinnati's worse than TCU. TCU has a shot, an outside shot at making the NCAA tournament. Cincinnati's not going to get there. So, with MitchPom giving K-State a 51% chance of winning tonight. 51% chance. I'll give you this. I'm going to go 51.5%. 51.5. I'm going to go a little higher than MitchPom. I do have K-State winning tonight. I'll tell you exactly why during PowerCat Game Day in the final segment.
I think I would give K-State 0.5% more chance of winning just because of the potential confusion between you and Coach Miller. Like, you start maybe barking out some things to Cincinnati's players, and then they're responding, and they go to a zone or something, so you never know how that's going to factor in.
I'm wearing a black shirt with a Big 12 logo on it. I could probably just switch spots.
I think you should steal a Cincinnati polo or whatever the garb is for Cincinnati tonight for the coaching staff. Steal one of them and see if anyone notices.
We're definitely wearing like a black quarter zip or something with the just Cincinnati logo. So all I have to do is change the logo.
There you go.
Good.
Hey, run the Bob Huggins special. Let's do it.
Press up. No, I
That's
think
just swerving to the rim.
I actually will also be joining you in predicting a K-State win, which feels wrong at this point in the season. But I think it's going to be like a West Virginia-esque game where it's just kind of terrible hoops to watch, but both defenses showing up. That's K-State kind of out of necessity because that's what Cincinnati does well. And then on the other end, it's just because Cincinnati stinks on offense, not necessarily because of, the defensive prowess of the Wildcats. So I'll take like a super low scoring, like 63-60 type of game where K-State hangs on this time in crunch time.
Gavin, you want to make it 3 for 3? You're going to pick the Cats to win tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to pick it. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Barely getting the 60s, like a 65-60 game.
Watch out. The Cats might go on a run here at home.
Don't let them get hot.
Cincinnati, Baylor, TCU.
The 13 seed is ours.
Oh, the 13 seed. That would be it's quite the reach right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's a MitchPom preview. PowerCat Game Day starting at 6. Cats and Bearcats. Bramlage Coliseum, 8:05 for the tip-off. Very curious to see what the turnout's going to be tonight for the game. Not going to lie, I believe it was the morning show earlier this week or maybe last week was trying to give away a pair of tickets to the game. We have had no issue in the past with the text line. It has been a huge success when it comes to interaction with you listeners. I don't think we got a single text.
Correct.
For free tickets.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it. Let's take a break. When we come back, how about a quick stop with baseball? Baseball actually traveling today to get to Arizona to play 4 games, and they're going to stay on the road. It's going to be a long road trip for the Cats, and they're going to play in Arlington, Texas as well. When we come back, how about a quick preview of the pitching for K-State baseball? 2 players that I think will be the X factor of this pitching staff that didn't play last season. That's coming up next on The Game.
Tweet The Game, KMAN, or call 537-1350 and get in touch with the show. This is The Game on News Radio KMAN.
In Manhattan, building community means more than bricks and beams. It means innovation and partnership. At McCown Gordon Construction, we deliver feature-focused solutions to projects that shape our region. From advanced research labs to vibrant education, healthcare, and community hubs. We're not just building projects, we're building the future of the Flint Hills with unmatched customer experience and value-driven strategies. We're building for tomorrow. Visit kansas.mccown-gordon.com.
Come on home to West Loop and Manhattan's West Side.
Adabus, providing and promoting the highest quality public transit services to the Flint Hills region.
Wildcat Fitness and Fun, our family providing your family fitness and fun since 1994.
West Loop Shopping Center, come on home to West Loop on Manhattan's West Side.
Come home to West Loop and Manhattan. West Side.
You.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2026 Winter Games. Another good day for the U.S. 5 medals were won in speed skating. U.S. star Jordan Stoll struck gold in the 1,000 meters. In freestyle skiing, the U.S. went 1-2 in the women's moguls. 20-year-old Liz Lemley in her Olympic debut won the gold. Julian Koff the silver. A silver for the U.S. in figure skating. And it's an understatement to say that Ryan Cochran Siegel is part of an Olympic skiing family. His aunt, uncle, and cousin all participated. And his mother, Barbara Cochran, won a gold medal in the slalom on this date in 1972. She was in Cortina today to watch her son win a silver medal in the Super G. He did that 4 years ago, and it was the only medal won in men's alpine skiing. The Super G gold was won by Switzerland's Frenjo van Allen, his third gold of the game. John Stashauer, Westwood One Sports.
The cost of mesothelioma treatments can exceed $400,000, and families often face losing their homes and life savings just to pay the bill. The Rights and Claims Department of Flint Cooper has helped victims secure financial support they need to pay for their care and ensure their family's future. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma and don't have legal representation, call Flint Cooper now at 800-606-8169. Time is running out for you to file a claim, so don't wait. Call 800-606-8169 for a free consultation.
Can I take your coat?
Oh, you noticed. Yeah, I found it on eBay from a seller in Vegas. Pre-loved and perfect. She listed it and jackpot. Italian leather, classic trench silhouette. And did you see the braided buckle?
Hang on to your claim ticket.
Oh, I'll hang on to this forever. Have you been on eBay? There's so many finds. And I bet that diving watch would sell fast. Just saying.
Find what you love, sell what you don't.
Hi, I'm Lana Clausen, a farmer in Satanta, Kansas. I'm proud to support the next generation of ag leaders through the America's Farmers Grow Ag Leaders program sponsored by the Monsanto Fund. Each year, farmers can help local college students by endorsing them for a $1,500 Grow Ag Leaders scholarship. The program provides more than $500,000 each year to students looking to study an ag-related field. Students, apply today for a chance to win a $1,500 scholarship. Visit growagleaders.com.
The Wildcats.
Three wide open again, and it's perfect again.
Hit the court.
To the rim, lay it good.
Right here.
Yeah. How about these Cats?
Be here every game as the Wildcats pounce the hardwood all season long.
3 seconds, 2, 1, buzzer, ball game. K-State wins it.
On your home for Kansas State Wildcat basketball, the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
News Radio, KMAN.
I'm Gavin Hyatt with the Game Sports Update brought to you by Bottle Cap Sports Bar. K-State women's basketball held the top scoring team in the Big 12 to a tie of its lowest point total of the season Tuesday night as the Wildcats led for over 39 minutes and held off a fourth quarter rally to secure a 70-61 win over Oklahoma State. K-State was led by Clausens with 18 points and 6 rebounds. Heel added 16 points. Gina Garcia tallied 9 points, a career high, tying 9 assists and 3 steals. Anaya Foy came off the bench to pull in a career high 8 rebounds, while Brandy Harrod added 9 points and 6 rebounds. K-State has now won 3 of its last 4. They'll visit Iowa State on Sunday with pregame at 12:30 and tip at 1 on Sunny 102.5. 2 K-State football players received invitations to the NFL Combine, Sam Hecht and VJ Payne. The Combine will take place from February 23rd through March 2nd in Indianapolis. K-State men's basketball returns home on Wednesday night to host Cincinnati at Bramlage Coliseum. K-State is off to its worst start ever in Big 12 play, tying 1996 to 1997 and 2020 to 2021 Cats that began 1-9 in the Big 12. Tip time is 8 p.m. Power Cat Game Day begins at 6 on 101.5 K-Rock and News Radio KMAN.
The game continues. I'm Mitch. To my right is Cole. To my 11 o'clock is Gavin. Checking out the text line, got a couple of texts about the movie Varsity Blues. We were talking about in the last segment where James Vanderbeek, who was the lead actor in that movie, playing Jonathan Moxon, he was also on, of course, Dawson's Creek. Got a couple of texts in about the movie Whipped Cream Bikini. That's for sure. So again, gentlemen, just a heads up. It is an R-rated movie. Maybe.
Still haven't heard back from my parents on the permission slip, so
we may
I'll
check
get back
in
to
with
you.
your wife as well on that one, Gavin, girlfriend, whatever. Make sure you get it cleared before you watch the movie. It's not as crazy as maybe I'm making it sound, but another text coming in from the 620. Former Cat Niall Wyron was one of the extra football players in Varsity Blues. I believe he was in The Longest Yard. I don't think he was in Varsity Blues. I just spit on myself. Because he would have been playing football at that time. He would have been, because I think he played arena football after leaving K-State. He didn't make it to the NFL. I think he was in The Longest Yard. Somebody would have to fact check me on that. But I don't think he was in Varsity Blues, unless I'm mistaken. I could be wrong about that. But I remember hearing something about him being in The Longest Yard. And I'm talking about, of course, the Adam Sandler version with Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds was in both, but I'm talking about when Adam Sandler was the QB getting in trouble. All right, I want to switch over to baseball as we are previewing the K-State Batcats for the 2026 season. Yesterday we talked about the offense, we talked about the bats. Today I want to talk about the pitching, which I admit, I talked about it yesterday. I feel better about where K-State's at offensively than I am. Like I don't think I have as good of a grasp on how good K-State could be pitching this season like I do with the offense. I feel pretty solid about the offense. I think they got plenty of depth and some really solid pieces. Did a great job in the transfer portal. But let's talk about this pitching crew for just a little bit here. Again, 3 straight 30-win seasons. K-State returning 21 players off of last year's roster that won 32 games, a school record, 17 conference wins. Well, first of all, it starts with Lincoln Sheffield because he is the only returning weekend starter from a year ago, so expect him to pitch this weekend, of course. We don't know what day. The projected starters have not been released yet. That'll mostly come out tomorrow for the 4 games in Arizona. But Lincoln started 15 games last year. He was one of the arms, like I thought with some others, maybe just started to wear down, maybe a little bit too much there towards the end of the season. But at a 5.45 ERA, he struck out 70. K-State's team ERA last year was 5.89, too high. That's too high for Big 12 play. That's going to land you towards the bottom, and it did last season. But Lincoln Sheffield, I thought, was pretty solid. And so he's going to be back. But right now for Coach Hughes, this was from Media Day last week, the weekend rotation is still being worked out.
Hasn't really sorted itself out. It will. I mean, it could vary from weekend to weekend with matchups and who we're playing and facilities we're playing in, and left-handed, right-handed. But we do have the luxury of 7 or 8 guys that are pretty talented and battle-tested that are stretched out that could make up our rotation at some point.
So, yes, that is the question of who is going to be filling in those spots in the weekend rotation. Like Coach said, it could be a number of guys. I want to bring attention, though, to some other guys that are returning. K-State is also returning 2 of their top 3 relievers from last year. Their top guy was Adam Arthur. Arthur at a 2.45 ERA, really good stuff in 21 appearances. James Guyette would be that other pitcher. But here's the X factor to me. I don't know the status of Cole Weisenbaker. Do we remember that name? Didn't pitch in 2025. He had an injury. I don't know if it was Tommy John's or what, and I don't know his status for this season. But if he is back, this was a go-to guy out of the bullpen. 22 relief appearances in 24, the 24 season. The season the Cats made it to a super regional. He was 4-0, led the team with a great ERA of 2.67. He was a great ground ball guy, great ground ball pitcher. He led the team, I believe, in 2024 in double plays. And if he is back, that's going to be a very serious go-to arm for K-State this season. The other one who, when he came to K-State last year, highly anticipated. This was a huge get for K-State, but he missed last season because of Tommy John surgery, and that is Louisville transfer Carson Liggett, who was going to be the Friday guy. Needed Tommy John surgery. He misses last season. He's a 2023 All-ACC second-team selection. Now, according to Pete Hughes, looks like he's ready to go.
Carson Liggett is as advanced in his rehab post-Tommy John as any other pitcher I've ever coached. At 7 months, he was full go. That's a credit to our athletic training staff and Blaine Burris. It's amazing. I've never seen a kid at 7 months with a stronger arm and with touch and feel for 4 pitches, and that's where Carson was at 7 months. He's at 9 right now, and we're going to be careful with him after that surgery. It's even though he's done great things in his rehab and has progressed in his recovery, where we'll still err on the safe side with Carson, but he'll certainly pitch weekend 1 for us at some point.
I'm very excited about that, and I don't know how much he's going to pitch. Nobody knows how much he's going to pitch right now. But based on what he did at Louisville, and who knows how much his game is going to change with having Tommy John surgery, that could certainly change up how you throw the baseball, could change a lot of things. But at Louisville, playing 3 seasons, he was a Dick Hauser semifinalist. He made 51 appearances at Louisville, 27 starts, a career .490 ERA, 12 wins, 123 strikeouts. He has a complete game shutout under his belt. Like, this is a Friday guy. This is a legit starter. This is a guy that can come in and be your best pitcher, can eat up innings. That is the dream. Now we'll just see what it looks like in weekend number 1, but of course, I've said this before, very high expectations for Carson Liggett.
Well, that's a guy that going into last season, before I would assume he went down with the Tommy John injury, was being talked about from Coach Hughes about a guy who was going to be one of the anchors of the pitching staff and one of the guys who was there week in, week out, and obviously goes down with injury. And now it'll be it's what was supposed to happen last year. So we'll see what he brings, and I'm excited to see him in action at some point this weekend.
Text coming in from the 785, Niall Wyron was a double for Stone Cold in the longest yard. Now that I did not know. That is let's get Niall Wyron on the show and let's talk some movies. Let's talk Cats, of course, but I need to hear about if he was a double for Stone Cold. If you know me, obviously I'm a big wrestling guy. Stone Cold is on my Mount Rushmore. He is the biggest draw in the industry's history. And then maybe there's still boys, and that could lead us to us talking to Stone Cold on the show. I've reached out before, I didn't get a response. Other than on Twitter one time. Back to K-State's pitching. Anyway, Carson Liggett, I cannot wait to see him on the hill for K-State this weekend. And then we go to the transfer portal. 25th best portal class according to 64 Analytics. This includes but is not limited to, once again. Now, they did pick up a top 200 recruiting Cohen Feezer from TCU. 18 appearances out of the bullpen last year. That was a redshirt junior year, a .497 ERA, 22 strikeouts in 25 innings. He missed 24 because of an injury, but he was also a very solid pitcher his sophomore year with a .256 ERA in over 31 innings. K-State also has a top 350 transfer in righty Adam Arnold. K-State is going to be a little bit light on the lefties. I believe they just have 4 on the roster. They got double-digit righties. But Aaron Arnold, is from Wichita State, so he's another shocker making his way up north to Manhattan. Led the team with a .592 ERA in 38 innings. Again, this is mostly out of the bullpen. Struck out 43 in 38 innings. He only walked 15. Very solid mid to upper 90s fastball. So he has heat. So
he's got the gas.
Could this be like a Tyson Neighbors kind of arm for K-State? UC Riverside transfer Matthew Flores coming in after a junior year of a .366 ERA in 39 innings, 45 strikeouts in those innings. He is a top 500 recruit. And then again, out of the portal but not limited to, South Florida righty Aiden Longoria for the Bulls last year, a .498 ERA in 21 innings, so limited time out there, but 21 strikeouts. And according to this analytics report that I'm reading here, so he's got a fastball that sits at the low 90s, but apparently this could be one of the nastiest low 90s fastball in college baseball. because it's a little bit deceiving when you see it come out of his hands. It may be low on the radar gun in the 90s, but still has a funky release, as I'm reading here. So, and he's a top 500 recruit as well.
I think there's a lot to be excited about for this team and for this pitching staff. And you see, as you mentioned, they just got a little bit worn down at the tail end of last season. There were parts of the year where the offense kind of sputtered a little bit. There were parts of the year where you could see the same thing about the pitching staff. So a time to refresh. You get some new faces into the room. You bring some guys in from the high school ranks, and it'll be exciting to see them in action this weekend.
By the way, Dante Lewis coming back, a two-way player last year as a freshman. He's back as a sophomore, not only trying to explode with the bat, may see him more in the outfield this upcoming season, but also he'll get his time on the hill. And Coach Hughes mentioned that, man, what's so big this season is the midweek starts. K-State's going to have a lot of interesting midweek games. He talked about the Louisiana series, playing for 2 games. After the trip to Texas, they got Big 12 matchups in the midweek. They're not official Big 12 games, but they're against Big 12 opponents. You got BYU, you got Baylor. Now, I will shout out Tanner Duke, which this was another movie reference I'd always make in the press box. When he would be coming into the game, I'd be like, they're bringing in the Duke. They're going to the Duke. That's a reference to Major League people. That's a baseball movie. You haven't seen it yet.
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have seen it?
Yeah, when Bob Uecker died last year.
That's right. And you liked it, right?
Yes, it was really good.
All right. Gavin?
What is the show called?
Major League.
Oh, no.
It's not a show. It's a movie.
A movie, yeah.
You've never seen Major League?
I've not.
Listen, you're young. I get it. I'm not going to be...
It's a good one.
I have a lot of shows I guess I need to... movies I need to watch.
Movies. I'll give you a list.
Okay.
I'll give you a list of sports movies. We'll figure out what you haven't seen yet.
Okay.
This could be a summer thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna help us out this summer, we'll give you a movie to watch every week.
Cool.
1 week, and we'll get your review. Because I wish I could go back and watch some movies for the first time. I wish I could go back watch The Office for the first time.
Man.
Because there's nothing like that first time. But typically the movie is a lot better when you watch it the second time. You know?
Right.
So I wish I could go back and watch things for the second time, like Varsity Blues. Let's see. Is that my review? That's pretty much it. I think we kind of get the gist of it.
Mm-hmm.
It has plenty of a potential. But again, I don't really have a grasp on how good
Feels like a lot of baseball is you're going to know when you see the team playing. And you can preview and take a look at it ahead of time and, hear from Coach Hughes and hear from some of the players, but you won't really know a full makeup of a team until after, a 3-4 game stretch to start the season, and we'll see what they look like on the diamond.
Royals pitchers and catchers reporting today. Are they going to be good?
Yes.
There you go. There's your report.
Carter Jensen. I'm excited to see him in year one, basically, the full year one.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, the Big 12 has revealed thank God.
Seriously, this was needed.
A new basketball court for the Big 12 tournament.
It's kind of tough.
It's real special. Plus, we have Ask Us Anything. It'll wrap up the show. Coming up next.
Your home for K-State sports.
And another Spaniard shines at Augusta National as Carla Bernat Escudero takes the title.
This is The Game on News Radio KMAN.
Spice up your event with Qdoba Catering. Our burrito bowls, nachos, and salads will taste oh so delicioso with juicy smoked brisket and adobo marinated grilled chicken. Fresh fajita veggies and hand-smashed guac will add a burst of flavor to your meal. Place your order today. Qdoba, united by flavor.
Be my BOGO for Valentine's Day. A Qdoba Rewards member exclusive. Buy one, get one free with the purchase of an entree and a drink. Must have Qdoba Rewards. Get the app today.
She was known as the most beautiful woman in the world, but she also invented technology for torpedo guidance during World War II. I developed that to help defeat Hitler. Her invention of frequency hopping spread spectrum technology is used now in so many of our wireless systems.
See Hetty, the life and inventions of Hetty Lamar at McCain Auditorium, February 27th at 7:30 p.m. Buy tickets online now.
At Stormontville Health, our patients are our neighbors and our communities are home.
We invest in your health and our community by bringing high-quality healthcare closer to home. From our Wamego Clinic to our new campus in Manhattan and the Flint Hills Hospital in Junction City. Our partnerships with organizations like the Mayo Clinic and the Children's Miracle Network bring top-notch expertise to our region. We take pride in local collaboration to stay connected to our communities. Visit stormontvale.org.
Stormontville Health, high-quality care closer to home.
Every guy deserves a proper fit for his wedding or formal event, so why go anywhere other than a men's store for his wedding apparel? Come to the experts at Bork Brothers Menswear, a store that truly knows how to fit men. We specialize in tuxedo and suit rentals and sales, featuring the latest fashions and colors, and now the new Dutton Western collection. Rent or purchase with confidence from Manhattan's leading menswear and wedding apparel experts. Bork Brothers Menswear, Setchalk Commons, or online at borkbrothers.com.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
He's been a broadcast journalist, political operative, and lobbyist. He's a columnist and author. Now, he's a radio talk show host. Within Reason with Mike Mattson.
Can we finally put a stake in the heart of the long-held dream of indoor aquatics in the Little Apple? Aaron Stewart leads the City of Manhattan's Parks and Recreation Department. He will be with us Thursday.
Within Reason with Mike Mattson on News Radio, KMAN. News Radio, KMAN. Weather.
A nice 51 degrees and sunny skies currently in Manhattan. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low of around 32. And on Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 59. That night, a low of around 33 and clear skies. Then going into Friday, partly sunny and bumping all the way up to a high near 62. And on Friday, expect a 50% chance of rain, mainly after midnight. Besides that, cloudy with a low of around 43.
First of all, congratulations to Sam Hecht and VJ Payne. They have been invited to participate in the NFL Combine. Probably not too long from now. I didn't see the
February
dates,
23rd through March 2nd.
There we go. So a couple of cats getting a workout at the Combine. I'm sure they'll get drafted. Meanwhile, the Big 12 Conference, big old media a press release earlier today. And it has to do with the Big 12 tournament. Now, I still think there's another big announcement coming down the line. There's been big teases from the Big 12 here recently about it. But if you're going to the Big 12 tournament, which we hope the K-State women and you never know, the men make a nice run there in Kansas City.
Women could potentially secure us an at-large bid for March Madness, depending on how the rest of the season goes, of course.
Still need to win some games. They still got those 2 quad 4 losses kind of hanging on that resume, but they're still a top 60 net ranking. So, it's
again
it's
keyword potentially.
Yeah, but I think we're ready to talk about that. Yeah, quite. Although Coach was actually asked about it yesterday's press conference, but very coach answer rather. kind of, we're taking
We're focused at one game at a time.
Taking it day by day. No, the Big 12 announcing that there's going to be a new floor, new basketball court for the Big 12 tournament. The Big 12 tournaments mark first time ASB glass floor is utilized for the official competition for the Big 12 tournament. Now, what this is if you see the video, it explains it way better than what we can do on the radio. But as I watched the YouTube video earlier, it's basically it's a full LED floor. Like the whole floor is LED.
It's pretty cool.
It's real state of the art. And I'm pretty sure the NBA is using these, right?
For the All-Star games.
It's the All-Star games. So basically what you can do is you have this iPad, you push a button, and you can turn the floor into whatever. Like you could make it a K-State basketball floor. You can make it a KU, Iowa State, whatever you want to do. You can do all these different graphics, all these different things. And that's how the Big 12 is continuing to stand out by playing with this state-of-the-art floor. I just hope a couple of things. One, they don't put the element in there if it's the same floor as last year where you have the little mini Big 12 logo scattered across the floor. It was an eyesore. I hated it. It gave me a headache. It made me struggle to focus on the game. It just messed with my brain. So let's not have that. And I just also don't want goofy things going on the floor while the games are happening. It'd be really cool during timeouts if a team like K-State goes on a run, they go to a K-State graphic on the floor. Yeah, that could look pretty sweet.
They probably can't have stuff like changing in the middle of game time is what I would think.
There's no way that could be allowed, right?
You would. That could surely.
Well,
right?
Part of the graphic, like a part of the big teaser release on this is like they had like this white line. It's a black 3-point line, but like a little white line going around and things like that. Like it could be real simple stuff. Just none of that while the game is going on. And I wonder what it's like to actually play basketball. Is it does it feel like a real court?
That's what I was wondering. Like, how does a glass court compare to a hardwood floor?
Does it feel like a basketball court? Is there going to be some soft spots in the floor?
They said that there aren't any soft spots. Like, there's no dead spots on a glass court, and that it's actually supposed to be better in terms of taking off maybe some of the more of the pressure that are put on the joints when landing after jumping.
Oh my God, we need that in Manhattan then.
Yeah.
We need that here. I'm sick and tired of hearing about foot injuries and all that stuff. It's been going on ever since we built the gosh darn basketball training facility. It's foot injury after foot injury.
Mm-hmm.
Oakley had a whole bunch of them. Dean Wade had a bunch of them, and it doesn't stop. I mean, look at Abdi Bashir. He had to have surgery.
Mm-hmm. Stress fracture.
So I'm going to blame it on the blame it on the practice floor. Jeff Biddy said one time here on the show that they'd actually had the thing. They've had it all tested. They've done all these things to try to figure out if there's anything wrong with their floor, and apparently it came back
just
with
a couple
colors,
of unfortunate consistencies when it comes to foot injuries.
Well, it's a very irritating coincidence. If all it is a coincidence, it's still pretty annoying. If there was an option to do it.
It's like the substation in San Francisco that the 49ers practice out. They say that that's the reason the Niners have so many injuries.
Yes, it is. That's exactly right. All right, Gavin, we got a few minutes left. We'll take a break here in a little bit so I can get ready for Power Cat Game Day at 6 o'clock. Until then, Gavin's got some Ask Us Anything for us.
All right. What is a talent you wish you had? It's pretty straightforward.
I wish... See, mine is related to either singing or playing an instrument. I wish I could sing because I love to sing privately.
Privately?
I wish I could crush. It's funny. We got somebody that works here on the radio station. Once they get into one of these studios, we'll just start singing.
Really?
Doesn't realize it's not 100% soundproof.
Right.
And so we're hearing it down the hall and stuff. It's pretty funny. But I love doing karaoke, but I can't sing that well. It's just not a natural talent for me. So I wish I had that, and play an instrument. I could be in a cool band or something.
I was going to go to instrument too. I think being able to play just like a mean piano, I feel like that'd be fun.
I was forced to play that all until freshman year, I think.
What was the coolest song you could play? Was it just like...
It was like a ton of
Chopsticks.
Beethoven songs and
so classical stuff. Yeah, that's boring.
I didn't like it at all. And then I went to guitar. I liked that more, but I stopped with that. But a talent I do wish I had was being ambidextrous. I feel like would that count as a talent? Do you think it was
kind of a skill?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something everybody can do.
Yeah.
And I think you can like train yourself to basically become ambidextrous. So
that or solve a Rubik's Cube. Being able to solve a Rubik's Cube.
I do know how to solve a 3x3 Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Because you can look up like online
it's not like luck or figure like it's
right,
like it's literally
like
just a program
also.
to do it.
It's a pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the ones that like they just configure it like right away and then like
I maxed out at like a minute and a half. It still takes me. They're able to do it in like 4 seconds basically.
Well, and it starts out like in those competitions, they have something over the Rubik's Cube.
Because then they're studying it and looking at all the 6 sides, put it down, and then
and then
they get it in like 8 seconds.
They hit this thing and slap it again.
Yep.
And they solve a Rubik's Cube in 4 seconds. Yeah, like you said, it's
never
a talent. Yes,
got that good. No.
Yeah. That's that. But I feel like ambidextrous, like you could do so much with that. I mean, like think about even sports. When you think about like, I can shoot with my right and left hand, or I could throw a baseball with my right or left hand.
I'll say it would have made Patrick Mahomes' left-handed throw against the Broncos a little less impressive if we knew he was ambidextrous.
Do you guys have a talent that you consider like kind of like a weird talent? I think I'm really good at planning, and I call this a talent, planning trips on a budget. And Lindsay can get a little annoyed how much I can plan out a trip. She likes just to like
wing it a little bit.
Wing it, but I think if you wing it too much, you're on your phones trying to figure out what to do. And that can last a while, trying to find a place to eat or what's the next thing we're going to go. Well, let me search it up because I don't know. I can't go that blind into a trip, especially if I'm going somewhere new.
I'm trying to think of a weird talent. I don't know what would fall into this qualifies as a weird talent. I have no idea.
I mean, I used to try to enter grade school when I was at Morganville Elementary. Try to enter the talent show because I could rollerblade backwards.
There you go.
Try to impress the 2 girls in my class. No, I never got in.
That's tragic.
They always would advertise having a talent show, then they never actually did it.
Get the kids excited and then take it away from them. That's evil.
They're probably like seeing all this sign-up talents and be like, well, this is all stupid.
Yeah. It's like rollerblading backwards? All right, we can skip till next year.
I don't need to see somebody tie their shoes. All right, we got to wrap it up. We got Power Cat Game Day coming up next. Go Cats.
Sherman Gillums Jr., Paralyzed Veterans of America.
For more than 70 years, Paralyzed Veterans of America has helped hundreds of thousands of veterans get all the benefits they have earned.
Al Kovac Jr., Paralyzed Veterans of America.
We provide one-on-one support tailored to your individual needs, including healthcare advocacy, benefits support, and career assistance.
For more information, call 1-800-424-8200 or visit pva.org. A public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
If you build a relationship, then it becomes easier. If you build trust, it becomes easier. As a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them